B2B sales isn't a skill you can just pick up by attending a workshop. It takes practice, dedication, and time to master. The problem is that the training most salespeople get isn't effective. Over 90% of workshop and seminar content is forgotten within 30 days. However, there is a better way. Unlike other sales training programs, our Momentium system combines traditional teaching techniques, an interactive sales simulator, and video conference coaching. Allowing salespeople to learn and practice new skills is what sets us apart from other training providers. Our training programs have proven to be more effective than any workshop or seminar. We improve sales forces, guaranteed. Each week, your salespeople will complete one training module, which consists of several lessons and simulated sales calls. Each module requires learners to learn new concepts, practice those concepts in simulated sales calls, and confirm their understanding in recap sessions and video conference coaching. First, the Coaching Academy contains short, interactive, and focused lessons that will teach salespeople the skills and techniques they need to be successful. We devote time to core concepts and advanced tools every salesperson needs to know. Every concept is delivered one at a time, ensuring salespeople have a chance to practice concepts before moving on to new ones. After learning a new skill, salespeople must complete a series of 3 lifelike sales calls where they open, develop, and close a deal.
Christy, what do you think is the single biggest development opportunity for your sales force?
Our team members are tech experts who traditionally relied on their tech knowledge to sell. More and more, we are dealing with non-IT people who need a different approach.
Momentium provides learners the opportunity to put techniques into practice immediately. This develops better habits leading to greater sales success. After successfully completing the sales simulation in each module, you'll review the key factors that led to the success in those sales calls. This guided reflection is crucial when it comes to creating long-term mastery. Beyond being the most effective sales training system available today, organizations that use Momentium enjoy several other benefits as well. The online training lets us track and record activity within each module. We use this information to benchmark your team's performance and show you how each of your salespeople are improving.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce our second keynote speaker, Mr. Rizwan Ahmed Siddiqui, who leads the diverse sales team to deliver KPIs, category, and channels. He's responsible for customer planning and trade activities to ensure the best commercialization of products. He's working in a world-leading MNC, Nestle Pakistan, as Zonal Sales Manager in the South region. He has over 16 years of experience with core insights on categories, shoppers, channels, and leadership. He's seasoned and experienced sales professional with proven track record of sustainable performance, business development, and leadership. He's been developing and embedding field sales strategy, defines appropriate field sales resource capacity, support function, processes, and structure in alignment with broader corporate planning. One thing personally that I've come to know about Rizwan, that he is a resilient leader, mashallah, and is very determined and committed. He has lost, this is, Rizwan didn't share this with me. I came to learn about him from somebody else who's a very close friend of his. 30 kilos he lost at one point in time, right? And all of us know it's difficult for anybody to lose their own weight or work on the self body and control, right? So mashallah, Rizwan has done that, and his friends had to say to him, no, you know what, now put back some weight on. And then he is in a state where he is now. Mashallah, is looking good. So Rizwan, thank you very much for joining us today.
Oh yeah, thank you very much, Irfan. And first of all, thank you very much for such impressive introduction. I think I must say you have been so generous. So that's probably, and I don't know how you got to know about my losing weight. So
you see, if I have to tell you, then I have to kill you. You heard that expression, right?
Okay, so I hope I look good after that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So wonderful. So hope all is well with you and your family. I hope you're having a good day. With this,
All
I'll hand over the floor to you, and you can, inshallah, deliver your keynote. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So, Assalamu alaikum. I would start with one ayah from Al Quran, which is like Rabbi Shrah li Sadri wa Yassir li Amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli sadaqallahu al-aliyyul azim. Well, briefly about myself, as Afan has already talked about, I would call myself, and I always, in fact, call myself as a student of sales. And it's been about like 20 years that I have been a student of sales, and I think it's still running, and that would be hopefully lifelong, inshallah. My journey started off from one internship in a very good organization of Pakistan that was in field. And doing that internship, I realized that okay, this is my soul actually belongs to. So this is I'm for sales, I think, and that was the point when I started working on that, and I chose that as my profession. After doing my MBA, I started off with a very good organization. I would say one of the best organizations to work with, Nestle Pakistan, and it's been about like 17 years with that organization. Quite rewarding, quite enriching. I learned a lot there, inshallah. Looking forward to having have further learnings. This is my 10th assignment, and currently I'm looking after Sindh and Balochistan. Very good organization, very good products to work with and to sell, and that has been great learning. It was really heartening, Hasnan, to listen to you, and that was absolutely some different tangent and some different perspective that you were talking about, and especially having that remote sales and all that thing. What I would focus more on would be FMCG sales, obviously, where I belong to, in fact, where we can all understand that that remote selling would not be possible everywhere because we have to deliver the products to our respective shoppers and trade, and thereby ensuring that the consumers and shoppers are available with the products whenever they are in need of. And in fact, the current COVID crisis situation, that lockdown timing and all the channels, bigger channels, the smaller channels, etc. So we have to be there. Uh, Coming to like sales, I think I have been a firm believer all the times, and I have been talking about this as well, that sales basics remain the same. सेल्स की बेसिक्स शायद कभी चेंज नहीं होती है, अंबिया के दौर से सेल्स हो रही है. अंबिया कराम हैड बिन इन दिस प्रोफेशन, तो उस वक्त से लेकर शायद आज तक और प्रॉब्ली आने वाले डे ऑफ जजमेंट प्रॉब्ली सेल्स की बेसिक्स शायद सेम ही रहेंगी. यस, the ways that sales is being done are absolutely evolving, and that has been changing, and we have been improving in different organizations as individuals, and that had been the case. This COVID crisis, I would not talk much about what this COVID crisis has brought, because probably this is one topic and one aspect that every one of us would be listening about on media, on social media, in person, whenever we meet some person, or in fact whenever we are sitting in family, we talk about this COVID crisis and what it has brought, or what it has changed actually in our personal lives and in our professional lives, in our working as well. One thing that has been absolutely a challenge, yes, but when it comes to serving consumers with our FMCG products, I think there where the sales stood as heroes, rather I would say, and this has been acknowledged on almost every other forum, and I really appreciate C2MC to bring this initiative where not only we are learning and having that sort of development effort, but this is also posing and presenting a very strategic importance and image of sales as function as a profession as well. So we look forward to have some good learning out of this entire conference. What perspective I have, what are my opinions, I would love to share with you with this like brief slide. Let me just put it on. So hope the slide is visible. So coming to FMCG sales, or especially the sales of food products, the people who are engaged in these categories and this industry, uh, not only to them but obviously to generally the sales teams who are handling general trade, handling like maybe local modern trade and maybe international modern trade as well. People who are dealing with people, the first of the contact. People who are in a leadership role obviously are maybe driving the sales through people. I think that would be relating to this slide and the aspect that I would be talking about ahead, and that would be like three topics or three aspects only. Number one is like care, number two is agility, and the number three is coaching. I think these are three areas and aspects which are key to drive, and not only to drive but to thrive in current sales needs, current sales situation. The COVID crisis or maybe the any other crisis. These are three aspects that so far what I have learned are the areas that we must focus on in order to move from surviving to thriving. First and foremost, obviously the care element, the details. There would be a lot of interpretation about this care, but when it comes to leading people, leading sales staff, both direct sales team, indirect sales team, people working in your company, in your own company, on principal side, people working indirectly on distribution side, no matter if you are in direct or indirect sales. But when you are dealing with people, dealing through people, and working and doing the business through people, this has to be the first and foremost element that you have to keep in mind. You have to ensure is in place, which is clear when it comes to like what to do. Like there could be a long list to share with the forum and with the audience that could include in this aspect. But I would talk about like three major things, which is where the number one is precautions, PPs, and refresher reminders, as you can see on the slide as well. Uh, First and foremost, we always we have been listening about this thing that charity begins at home. Precautions and care has to start with our own sales team. We have to be giving them all that information that is required to be success, to be not only safe but to be ensuring that okay, whenever they are going to like in market, they are also passing on this message, this education, this awareness to the people, especially on retail side, that who they are dealing with. So precautions, PPEs, all that things, and repression and reminders are really, really important, so that we are communicating to our sales team to stay safe and take all the precautions, including like masking, wearing gloves wherever possible, having that hand hygiene thing, and all such things, having that social distancing, especially while in field. So these are the things that we have to continuously hammer and give this refresher and reminder to our direct and indirect sales people to be at a safe part. The second part, I think different organizations would have already taken care of this thing, and we as an organization has also been obviously engaged in that, and our distributors, they were absolutely one step forward, I would say, when it comes to rewarding the heroes actually, because up on the distribution and then to go to the field and start serving through whatever like channel, whatever means are available. And there had been a lot of reward that were absolutely offered to our like direct indirect sales team. Maybe some of the organizations could have could like allocate that hardship allowance and donations, in fact, especially to frontline inventory, because their remuneration is always not very big and impressive in terms of like having that inflation and meeting with this crisis situation. So this is the second part, I think, that organizations and sales leaders must work on to lead their sales team and move from surviving to thriving. Third point, I think that goes without saying, uh, but whatever we do, if we are not genuine, whatever we do, if we are not doing with our own and all heart, so that would not be maybe translated into that care part. Right? And obviously, when we say, okay, we are sort of sales leaders, we always understand that people working on front line are maybe in Urdu we say, अगर हम होशियार हैं तो वो शायद हमसे ज़्यादा डबल होशियार हैं. And when होशियार means intelligent, वहाँ अगर हम अपने आप को समझते हैं कि if we are not putting genuine efforts, so that would be visible and that would be understandable to everybody. So this is my humble submission. In my opinion, whatever we do, we have to be really genuine and we have to engage with our sales team, both direct and indirect, in a genuine manner, and we have to involve with them. So after uh, talking about like this care element, and while we have ensured all that part of care thing and that precautions thing, second part that I would want to talk about is agility. Agility may be one of the buzzwords that we have been listening, a lot, and we have to be agile and everything. But obviously, when it comes to prices, this is the real time that we have to show our agility. And when I say that working in field, especially with FMCG products and food products, especially, I repeat, these are the areas that I would remind everybody and every sales leader and sales manager to show agility on. In fact, channel mix, number one. We all understand things are changing because of this fear factor. People have switched from one channel to other, moving from like maybe local modern trade to some like large grocery channel, or maybe even from some self-service LG outlet to some like local some small Kiryana store even in the vicinity of the area, because of that lockdown timing or because of that fear factor, because of that shortened shopping trip, etc. Whatever are the reasons, but this channel mix is changing. So what we have to understand and be agile on is we should be assigning realistic and relevant targets to our sales team, because this is not business user, this is business unusual. And if there had been some baseline for any specific channel, it could have maybe been affected negatively or maybe positively as well. So this goes both ways. Maybe some small store baseline would have been a positive impact and it should be leveraged or over leveraged in current times. However, the people or the teams who are working on other channels which are affected, maybe wholesale, maybe like large grocery, or maybe LMTs, because of this timing pressure and every other thing. So I think there has to be that realistic uh, correction onto that targets, and they must be shifted to the relevant channel so that the overall number is met. Overall service level is also met. Uh, Similarly, on the second point, portfolio. If you are having like different SKUs in your portfolio, so that's on one part, that's safety net we have. But in current situation, there would be different or different performance of each single SKU. In certain cases, the larger packs would be performing better. In certain cases, the smaller SKUs would be performing better. The areas who are having that SEC C and D vicinity and population, they might be having that effect of on the economy, on the purchasing part. So maybe we have to review that if our channel if our portfolio is absolutely placed, and if our portfolio is absolutely uh, uh, set in a way that our number and volumes are absolutely realistic, and we have to be agile enough that okay, if we really want to tweak a bit from some SKUs to others, so or maybe in certain cases from some brands to the other, or some categories to the other category. So it has to be it has to be done in a very agile way. Third aspect I would want to touch upon is like meetings. Whenever, like if we are in field and people who are absolutely dealing with the teams, the frontliners, the order bookers, the delivery man, the recovery officers, etc., etc. I think a day in sales starts with meeting, like meeting and discussing what was the day about, like yesterday, and how we are going to do today, and maybe what would be the future, maybe tomorrow or maybe weekend or month end, etc., etc. So I think this COVID crisis has brought certain changes to this aspect, and that meetings have to be, number one, minimized, especially like one-on-one and personal meetings have to be minimized. and wherever they are being done and where we cannot afford to like miss them, absolute precautions are supposed to be met. That social distancing thing, or maybe that during that morning meetings, during that evening meetings, or maybe if we can really choose, if we really want to have that morning meeting, or if we really want to have an evening meeting, or if we really want to go from that layer to layer. Okay, there could be days when say an area manager would have been meeting every single order booker every day. So there could be some agility and change that okay, I would be meeting 2 persons a day and 3 persons a day, maybe in the morning and in the evening, and then obviously maybe the alternate day as well. So whatever are the findings, whatever are the like priorities, they would definitely differ from location to location, from category to category. So they have to be really, really aligned and agile in a way that's not only safe for the teams but also practical and is also meeting all that requirements and that result driven things as well. Similarly, the timing, service schedule, terms, this is I'm particularly talking about like trade timing and operations timing as well. When it comes to uh, like lockdown timing, we all are about aware about, like from sometimes it was like from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. in the morning. At certain locations it was maybe 9 to 7, etc., etc. So I think that distribution operations have to be aligned, and our service schedules are supposed to be maybe tweaked a bit, or maybe our terms of services should have been like tweaked a bit to serve the traders and obviously hence the indirectly or directly the shoppers as well in a better way, because this is not business usual, I repeat. So this is unusual, so we have to be agile enough to tweak our routes, to tweak our business timings, operations timing, etc., so that we can serve every single channel in a way that it has to be. And similarly, finally, point I would want to touch upon is agility on recovery, banking hours, and credit facilities. We can absolutely link these words to different categories and industries that we operate in. Banking hours, that's, I would not say a disconnect, but at least a difference. That trade was opening, say, earlier in morning, say 8 a.m. in morning, and it was operating till 5, 6 a.m. in p.m. in like in evening. However, the banks were operating from 10 a.m. in morning to say 1 p.m. or maybe in in routine weekdays 3 p.m. in evening. So that was, I think, a disconnect or maybe a difference, because that has to be aligned in a way that we have to collect and we have to deposit cash in the market as well. That frontliners are supposed to do this, and hence if we are not in a position to do or to match that timing, because that's not in our hands, that's not in the hands of our sales team working in field. So that's coming from absolutely the authorities who are absolutely having all that insights, all that precautions to be ensured. So what we can really do is we can have some like uh, exceptions on credit facility to some like select accounts. Obviously, we understand, and I am a firm believer that we should focus more on cash sales instead of having that credit sales. But when it comes to like the COVID crisis or maybe any other priority times, so we have to have that facility. We have to have that agility to maybe tweak our recovery or credit facility to select accounts who are having absolutely appropriate repo. I would not advocate to offer that traded facility to maybe entire of the trade, but wherever we have that good repo of accounts and are having that good track record, I think we should be agile enough uh, to tweak our like recovery or credit facilities to them. So these are few areas that are important to be thought of, in fact, and to be worked over to ensure that we are absolutely enabling our sales team, and we are making sure that we are not only just doing our business, but we are making sure that okay, we should not be having a bad impression, or we should not be having some loss of sales, or maybe some bad experience to on to like when it comes to shopper experience or maybe consumer experience as well, because people are already having this stress and this pressure while in their homes, locked down in their homes, I would say, and having that pressure is absolutely having having an impact on their behavior, shopping behaviors as well. So we have to ensure that all our products, all our relevant products are available on relevant channels. Rather, they are absolutely available where our consumers want them to be in current times, and maybe that could be the new portfolio, the new SKUs at new outlets or whatever that industry to industry varies actually. So we have to ensure that all relevant products are available at relevant outlets and relevant times so that our shoppers and consumers are having this facility to buy whenever they are in need of. The third point that I would want to touch upon, coaching. Okay, people, when we work with people, this is, I think, the most important thing to develop them. However, in current situation, these are the areas that I would remind the audience and the sales leaders and sales managers who are listening to us uh, to be really, really, considerate on. They must consider these factors to coach their direct and indirect sales team and ensure that they are really, really aware of and they understand all these things. Number one, CSP partnership. What do I mean by this CSP partnership? Sales and selling and achieving our numbers, achieving our targets, achieving our goals is our routine job. Absolutely, sales have been and would continue to be the revenue engine for most of the organization. However, in current times, this is also a sort of community service that we are absolutely doing to our shoppers and consumers. They are locked down in their houses, in their homes, and I repeat, they have this stress already. So, what we can do to maybe help them a little is to ensure that relevant products for themselves, for their family, for their children are available on their convenience, and whenever they go to market in the allowed time frames, so they should be available. So this is one community service that we can be partner to, in fact, with through our retail, through our channels, and through our company, absolutely, to ensure that quality products and that nutritional products are absolutely available to our shoppers and consumers. So what we really need to make our direct and indirect sales team, and rather I would say remind them again and again, is this is not sales, only sales during these times, during this crisis time, I would say. So this is absolutely a CSV, a community service that we are doing, that sales heroes, sales frontliners are in fact doing, and they should absolutely be proud of. We are proud of them absolutely doing all that things, and they should also be having this pride in themselves that we are absolutely serving the consumer, serving the population, serving our community. Second point that absolutely links to it as well. Uh, but here I would remind and request every sales manager and leader to be transparent. So this is not crisis specific of a request, but this is something. Uh, this crisis requires us to be more transparent and open. We have to be very open to our team, to our to our to our direct and indirect teams both. How we would definitely be having a lot of things to accomplish, to complete, and to have that tick on the box. Okay, that yes, we are done with that. However, we should, instead of going with that temptation that most of that sales people and managers are having to have all that things completed. I think this is the time that we must choose what are our must win battles and what are our good to have. If we are achieving our good to have, that's fine, we should go for that. But I think we should be very openly communicating to our teams that okay, these are the things which are must to be done, and once we are okay doing that and we are done with these battles and these aspects with quality, then okay, these are the things that we should be focused on in addition to this. So because of this temptation, as one of the famous speaker and one of the famous, I would say, person currently, Jack Ma, who is I really like him because he's a person who had a lot of failures in his life. So if he's maybe also referring to the same point, that this is the time, if you are alive, So definitely you can build again. But these are the areas that we should not be ignoring in our routine sales operations as well. We should be having this transparency that okay, these are the must-win battles that we must run together, we must ensure and achieve together, and these are the areas that we can definitely consider achieving. But if we are not doing maybe good on that, so that's fine. But these are the must-win battles that we must be succeeding on. Uh, Moving on to the third point in the consideration in respect of time, communication push to share the value proposition. When I say, okay, we are doing that CSV and community partnership by serving quality products to our for our consumers, I think that pitch has to be clear to our salespeople as well, especially who are going to market in the field and who are absolutely communicating and having that conversation with the retailers and traders. They must understand, number one, what are the values, what's the value that we are offering or we are offering through different products, and how it is beneficial to our consumers, and how it is maybe beneficial to our retailers as well. And they should be knowing each and every single thing about that pitch. It should not be something that maybe 10 people going to market and 10 people talking about 10 different messages. But this has to be really coming from the sales leaders, that okay, this is the pitch, these are the points, this is the value that we believe in, and definitely has to be communicated to the retailers, and are absolutely then retailers are definitely talking more to consumers and shoppers. So that pitch, that communication has to be very specific and clear to our salespeople, and we have to coach them again and again about this, so that we can absolutely not only survive but also thrive in market. uh, the next point is trade and shelf execution. We all understand that path to purchase during this crisis is changing. The consumer who used to follow maybe one routine path, going to that specific outlet, going to that aisle, etc., having maybe some time on that confectionery aisle or maybe some confectionery shelf as well. So they that's being changed now. They are having a very quick shopper mission. They just want to go and grab the product and just go out. So we have to understand that okay, these are the changing needs. So we have to ensure that our products are absolutely available where they have to be. If it is impulse, then okay, that's one of the categories that's affected the most. But even if it is impulse, then where we should be available at in store, especially in general trade, when we are having a very small like a store, and not everything can be placed on the counter, though that's the most, I would say, hottest spot for general trade. But when it comes to like putting everything on the counter, that would not be possible, especially during these times. So we have to understand and communicate and coach our sales team on how to ensure that that shelf execution, that trade execution is met during these times. And we have to be agile enough. Once again, I link it back to the previous box, that we have to agile. If we, it cannot be like doing the same thing that we were doing before that crisis hit us. Finally, I think training and development success stories, though we all are having this stress in our on our heads, and people are absolutely having that fear factor around. But I think there is a lot of success stories on, I think, every other I would say distribution point, or maybe every other organization. There would be a lot of success stories that people are really putting their level best and are ensuring that they are doing and they are creating a market, in fact. So I think while training and while developing our people, success stories should also be shared with the larger audiences, so that that positivity and that confidence also is boosted. This is not only about like communicating. This is about, I think, giving that positivity, giving this confidence that okay, we are in safe hands, we are being treated well, we are being taken care well, and we are absolutely being given that working facilities, and that changes, that tweaking is being done. And then absolutely, when everything, every ingredient of success is there, now it is our job to go all out and not only just to deliver, but maybe put our level best and ensure that we are thriving, we are contributing positively, not only to the organization, to the sales team that they are working for, but to the consumers and the shoppers as well. And finally, I think my last point for the slide would be there has to be that personal connection. You have to show up yourself and lead by example. This cannot be just communicating on phone and then assuming that okay, the sales team or the frontliners would definitely be maybe doing it themselves or maybe owning it the way we really want them to. In fact, it is all about like showing up and ensuring that you are leading them by example, giving them this message in your personally and leading them by example by showing up in trade, by showing up at distribution, so that they have this personal bond and connection, and they look uh, for the real example in your form, and then they really copy you maybe in certain cases, or maybe have some inspiration from you, and then definitely they try to implement that on their own and in their own relevant scope. So this is, I think, really important to have this personal connection of every single sales manager, every single sales leader to his or her teams, and his or her maybe like direct and indirect both teams, I must say, because this is not only about managing yourself or your teams, but because it is about like ensuring that every single person in the team is working. Because when every single person is working, then only then we can ensure that we are absolutely winning and we are absolutely moving from surviving to thriving. So this is not a one person's one man show. This is absolutely about team. So I think this is all from my side, and I look forward to have maybe uh, uh, some like discussion during that Q&A as well. So I hereby like just close it and
Okay,
move
great.
on.
Great. Well, Shukriya, Rizwan, thank you so much. You also have touched upon
Thank you.
some great points on care, agility, and coaching. I was taking notes while you were delivering your keynote. It was really informative. I really enjoyed your session thoroughly, and what most importantly, you have taken the time to explain everything. So I think this is a great deal for salespeople, especially in B2C. Um, who are working in sales, regardless of what industry they are associated with. I think these are great points, without a doubt. So we'll take up on the Q&A in the panel discussion afterwards, if that's okay with you, Rizwan. And once
Thank you.
again, thank you so much.